starting a segment in my channel called Tea Time, and I decided on this name because I love teacups, painting teacups, and I love drinking tea is very good for your health. Specific some teas are very good, and so on this tea time section, we're gonna be giving you advice, sharing some of my knowledge about painting. So today we're gonna talk about basic painting supplies that you will need to start the painting journey. And the first supply that you will need is the surface you're gonna paint on. And this one that I have in here, this is one of my original pieces. This piece was published in the magazine for the International Society of Decorative Painters, and it's called Blue Jay with Bottoms, and it was published on the 2012 issue number 2, and it is on page 26. I am going to put the PDF for this on Patreon. Anyway, I want to show you if the surface that you select, this is going to be the first item that you're going to need for starting to paint. You need a surface to paint. This is wood, and we're going to have another tea time where we're going to talk about preparation of surfaces, but right now we're just talking about basic supplies. So you need a wood a surface, and it can be a wood surface. When I select a wood surface, most of the time if I select wood, I want to do something that is functional, like this. This is a box, and I painted also the inside. You don't have to select wood. I'm going to tell you about other surfaces that you can use. Another option will be gesso board, and this one comes with the gesso board. It's spelled without the A, and it comes in a set. I have to attach it with screws, but it comes already with a frame. That's another option. Also, you can use canvas. Now, canvas, when I'm doing painting, the canvas that I prefer is the Blue Label, which has a smooth. It's a smooth grade. It's called a portrait grade. I don't like the canvas when they have too much grain. If you have those, then you might want to sand it a little bit to make it less grainy. But I prefer using the Blue Label by Frederick. Then another type of surface that you can use is metal. But if you use metal, you have to prime it first in order to use it. And you can also use glass. But again, in order to use glass, you probably have to use the edging and edge the glass so that it has a surface where the paint is going to grab. The same applies to ceramic, which you can use also, but it has to be the one that is matte and not the one that has been finished. And you can also paint on fabric. So there's tons of different surfaces that you can use. The ones I prefer are the gesso board, the canvas, and the wood. But you can use the one that you prefer. If you're painting with acrylics, you're going to need a water tub. And this is the one that I like to use because it has an area where I can clean the brush, and another one where I can lay the brush in with a little bit of water. And I also recommend you to have a palette knife, and these are my two favorite palette knives. This one is Land Nickel, and the size is P6. And these are hard to get, but I believe you can get them at eBay. And then my other favorite palette knife, which is smaller than this one, it is the Le Cordel J11. So those are my two favorite palette knives. So you're also going to need sponge rollers. And I got these at Home Depot. And like them because you see how the sponge is so smooth. And these are the ones that I use most of the time to base coat my piece, I roll the base coat color on my piece, and if it's a large piece, I use the large one. If it's smaller, I use the smaller one. So I love to have those. The next thing that you need, paper towels. And these are the paper towels that I like to use. They come in rolls. They're called Scott racks, and these are the ones that I like to use because they are lint free, and it doesn't put particles in your paint, in your painting piece. And you're gonna need a stylus, and this one is from Homecraft, but you need a stylus that have a small ball. This one has a very small tip, and this is to trace your piece. And when you get the line drawing that I have on Patreon, normally I photocopy it on a piece of vellum, which is a little bit transparent but not completely transparent. This is called Inkjet Translucent Vellum, and I use it to copy the line drawing. I'll show you one, to copy the line drawing in vellum, and that way I can see where I put it on the piece. And so I recommend you to have vellum, and you're gonna need the wax palette to put your paints. And this is Strathmore palette paper, but there's several different brands. Just look for where it says palette paper, and it's like a wax coated paper. Then you're gonna need graphite paper in two different colors. You need the gray one and the white one. When the surface is light, you're gonna put the dark one, and when the surface is dark, you're gonna put the light one. And you need to have some sandpaper, 400 grade sandpaper. If you're using wood, you're gonna probably sand the wood. And if you're using wood, you're gonna have to have some wood sealer. And in the Christmas piece that I'm gonna put for Christmas, I'll show you how to prepare the wood with the wood sealer. And then the most important part that I have, supply that I have not told you about, is the paints. So it depends whatever paint you're gonna use. If it is acrylics, if it is oils. If it is acrylics and you want craft paints, I recommend the Quad Americana paints. And if you want heavy body acrylics, there's several ones. There's Golden, there's Liquitex, Heavy Body. So whatever you prefer, whatever you want and whatever you have, but you need some paints, and you might need also some mediums. And mediums that you will need are, for example, if you're painting with the Quad Americana, you might need to have some of the drying time extender. It will help you extend the painting time. If you're using Golden, you might need to have the Golden retarder, or there are also some brands that are called extender. So extender, retarder, those are the mediums that I would like to have from the beginning. So, and let me tell you about the most important one that I have not told you about, and it is about brushes. So for brushes, let me bring some of my brushes. Some brushes, I recommend that you have the following when to start. I love to use the Black Gold by Dynasty chisel blenders. They're series 206, and those I like to use either for acrylics or for oils. My favorite oil brushes, they're no longer available. They were Winsor & Newton series 710, and they're no longer available. But if you have them, if you have the Winsor & Newton series 710, then use those. They were very good, but they're no longer in the market. And you need to get at least, when you're starting, at least 3 of the flats, a small one, a medium, and a large. So the smaller will be either size 2 or 4. The medium will be size either 6 or 8, and the large either as 10 or 12. So I recommend you get those. And then you need a liner. And I recommend you to get a liner that is either 10-0 or 5-0 liner. Then I also recommend that you have one of the filbert mops that I will show you that I use for my backgrounds. You can see the video that I have on backgrounds, how I use this, but I recommend you to have one of those. So the liner, the flat, the filbert mop. I also recommend that you have some type of mop brush. It doesn't matter what brand, but a mop brush. And then I really like to do dry brushing a lot. So I recommend that you have one brush that is used for dry brushings. These are called either Bringle Blender or Dumb Round. The Bringle Blender are by Betty Verde, and the Dumb Round are by Loconer. So there are other brands that I don't recall right now, but they're like this type of brushes. I recommend that you have at least a small one and a large of these, or maybe a medium if you have the money to buy also a medium. So if you're doing landscape, these are the brushes that I recommend that you get. The flat, sharp brushes, they're not as soft as regular brushes. They have a little bit more of strength to them, because when you're doing landscape, most of the time you're painting on canvas. So for canvas paintings, these are the brushes that I recommend you get. So more if it's a large canvas, size 32 will be good. But if you just want to start, just buy the size 24 or the 20 or 24 to start. And then you need to have a liner, again the 5 or 10-0, and a mop brush, a fan brush, maybe a flat size 4 or 8, filbert brushes to paint the leaves, size 6 or 8 filbert brush. Sometimes you can get these liners that are script liners that hold a lot of paint, and you can do a lot of things on your canvas with this type of liners. And oh, I forgot, I have to tell you, you need the foliage brushes, the Susan Chewy foliage brushes. Those are great to paint on canvases. This is the set that I have for seascape, and these are those Grumbacher brushes that I told you that I use. And let me see, also Joyce Ordner also have her magic brush, which replaces this one. If you cannot get the aquarelle Grumbacher brush, then you can go to Joyce Ordner's website and get her magic brush, which replaces this, because at the beginning she was using these ones, but they're not, I think they're not available anymore, but you might have them. This is size 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Her sizes on her magic brushes are 3/4, 1/2 inch, and 3/8. So if you can get the Grumbacher on those same size, then it will be good. Then this is a Charf fan. You can get that on Charf website, and this is used in the seascape to soften your piece. And you can get them in different sizes. The one that I mostly use is the size 12. And okay, this is the 1/2 inch of the Grumbacher that I showed you already. Then you need to have a filbert brush, and this is a size 6, Joyce Ordner size 6. The bristle fan, you can get it also on Joyce Ordner also have it. And this is the detail brush, which is like a number 2 round. And this is a mop, oval mop. So those are an aligner. Those are the things that I use for this case. So those are my recommendation on brushes. I will have another video that tell you about specific specialty brushes and how to use them. But right now, these are basic supplies that you will need. And thank you for joining us. And please come back for other videos. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.